Hey everyone, Tate here with IMS, and in this week's how-to video, I want to kind of make more of just a fun little chat. Not necessarily are we doing a how-to or anything like that, but just kind of want to talk about some interesting facts that came up in a recent report. So according to IBM's latest cybersecurity report, the average data breach goes about 277 days before it's noticed and or reported. Think about that. Someone gets into your computer, your network, your business systems, and they're in there for 277 days on average, looking at information, gathering information, and waiting for the right moment to normally strike with ransomware, or they're just going to hang out there and gather as much data as they can before they are discovered. Now, why aren't things catching it? One of the biggest things I always tell people when I talk to them about cybersecurity is that as many people are trained like me, who go to school, take certifications, we day in, day out do what we can to learn the next thing that'll help us be more protected from cyber criminals, is that there's me, but on the opposite field. They're going to school, they're taking certifications, and they're doing everything that they can learn to become a better cyber criminal. And what that goes is you kind of have a two-way street. Some days we might be the smarter ones, but sadly some days they're going to be the smarter ones, and it's those ones, those type of attacks, those are the ones that haven't been seen before, aren't easily able to be detected because you don't know what you're looking for, and that's how they get in there, and that's how they stay in there. So that's kind of scary, but what can we potentially look out as the end user to maybe help IT with finding these kind of things? So first thing I want to talk about is just something that can be typical life with just your computer, whether that's slow computer or slow network performance. If you have a computer that's 5-6 years old and your computer's slow, it's probably not being attacked. It's probably just an older computer, and it might be time to get a new one. But if you just recently got a new computer, or your computer is maybe a year, 2-3 years old and has been running fine, except for now just a switch has happened and now it's running terribly, that might be a cause for concern. Same thing with network performance. Something might be eating resources on the network that is taking up all that data. Contact your IT, have them do a scan on your computer. A lot of these times when an attacker gets into your computer, they take over a process. Maybe they hide themselves as an explorer, or something simple like Notepad, but Notepad doesn't take that many resources, and having someone do a quick scan on there would know it's like, hey, 80% of your resources are going to Notepad. That's not right. Let's kill that process, see what happens. That's normally an indicator that someone's on your computer. With that could be also frequent freezes or sudden crashes. A lot of attacks and a lot of exploits, they only work if they go through it completely. I'm actually taking a cybersecurity pen testing course right now, and it's impressive how many times you attempt to do an exploit or get into someone's system that if the exploit doesn't work out as it's intended, it results into a crash. Now sometimes this is what the attacker's wanting to do. They're trying to deny you service of your systems, but a lot of the times they are just trying to get into your computer to do that reconnaissance and get that information. So your computer freezing and having those sudden crashes is not good. Again, contact your IT, have them do a scan. Let's see if there's something going on. Another one could be rapid pop-ups. Well, probably the big one is ransomware. Obviously, that's a big pop-up that pops up and says you can't do anything to your computer. Everything's locked. All your files are closed. But it could also be other things like spyware, where you get ads popping up on your computer for random things that you've never heard of, or you don't even want. That's not typical behavior. And so with that being said, again, have your IT do a scan, double check, be vigilant. If you're on websites and they're asking to send notifications and that kind of stuff like that, don't allow it unless you know the website and it's something that you want notifications from. Next one's going to be more talking on the business side of things, but can be potentially a thing in personal computers as well. As your computer's locked out, come in on a Tuesday. Yesterday you were logging in just fine. You get to your computer and you try and log in. It's your first log on attempt and it tells you you're locked out. That is suspicious activity. It's not suspicious if you sit there and tried 5 times because caps lock was on or nums lock was off. But if you're coming in and it is your first time attempting to log on and it's locked, that is suspicious activity. It might not necessarily be an attacker. It might be someone else trying to get into your account, like locally, just messing up or something like that. But 1, never share passwords. But 2, if it is being locked out and it is an attacker, they're normally trying to brute force to get into your account, or they have your password and you have 2-factor authentication, and that's where they're getting stopped. Report it, change your password right away, and that way you'll just have all those right processes set up in place if something like that ever happens. Sudden or unexpected file change is another really common one. Again, think of ransomware. That's that the file is encrypted and you can't touch it, but can just be normal things too. When you look at cybersecurity, there's 3 main things that we look at. It's confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Integrity is a very crucial part of that whole system. If it is a web server that's meant to be accessed to the public, unexpected file changes can be very bad if the wrong information is going to be being sent out to the public. So always document, do change management on any sort of important systems or files. That way it is notated and learned when that file is changed. And then that next big thing is to do an audit on that management. Having change management is super, super awesome, but unless you have a system or a person that is dedicated to look at those changes, those logs, it won't do you anything, because then things will just go unnoticed until something big happens where it's super easy to notice that, hey, something's changed. Another thing would be just a normal system behavior, such as the device continuing to run even after a shutdown. Sometimes the computer can get infected with something that'll go into RAM, or actually attacks the system's motherboard, where it goes before the operating system. So even if you wipe the computer is still turned on and doing things. These can be very, very severe ones, and at that time, normally just best to replace the hardware. All right. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. Hope you found this insightful. If you like this kind of style, which is just more of us chatting, let me know in the comments below. If not, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next week's video. Thank you so much now, and take care. Bye.